Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I want to share my personal journey into the US tax industry. If you are someone who is trying to switch careers, feeling confused, getting rejected in interviews, or wondering whether a career in US tax is worth it, then this video is for you. This is not a success story where everything went perfectly. It's a journey with career changes, uncertainty, unemployment, rejections, and finally finding the right path. Let's start from the beginning. After completing my BBA, I got my first job in sales. At that time, I was happy because I had a job, but after working for some time, I realized sales was not my cup of tea. I understood that I was not enjoying the work, and I couldn't see myself building a long-term career in that field. So I made a difficult decision. I left the job and decided to pursue an MBA in finance, hoping it would open better opportunities aligned with my interests. After completing my MBA, I got a job in the US mortgage domain. This was my first exposure to the US financial service industry. While working there, I occasionally came across Form 1040 as part of my work. At that time, I didn't know much about US tax. I was curious whenever I saw those forms. I remember wondering what Form 1040 actually was and why it was so important. I did have that curiosity, but honestly, I didn't explore it further because my focus was on learning my current role. After some time, I switched to another company, this time in the US retirement domain. Interestingly, even there I kept seeing IRS forms and tax related documents. Once again, I felt curious. It almost felt like US tax was crossing my path again and again. But even then, I didn't seriously think about making it my career. Sometimes opportunities appear in front of us multiple times, but we don't realize their importance until much later. Unfortunately, during that period, I also faced some health issues. Because of that, I had to resign from my job without having another offer in my hand. That was one of the most difficult phases of my career. Being unemployed is not easy. There are so many questions running through your mind. What should I do next? Will I get another job? Am I making the right career choice? I remained unemployed for nearly 6 months. During those months, I spent a lot of time on LinkedIn looking for opportunities. One thing caught my attention repeatedly. I kept seeing job postings related to the US tax. Every day there were openings from different companies. The more I saw them, the more interested I became. I thought to myself, maybe this is a career I should explore. The problem was I had no idea where to start. There was not a clear roadmap. I didn't know what skills were required. I didn't know which forms I should learn. I didn't know what companies expected. So I started doing my own research. Since I had already seen Form 1040 during my previous job, I decided to start there. I watched videos, I read articles, I tried understanding what Form 1040 was, who files it, and how the return works. Along with that, I revised my basic accounting concepts because I knew accounting fundamentals would help me during interviews. I was not trying to become an expert overnight. I just wanted to build enough knowledge to confidently attend the interviews. Then I started applying. I applied to a lot of companies. Honestly, I don't even remember how many applications I submitted. Some companies never responded. Some rejected my application without an interview. A few called me for interviews. Those interviews didn't go well. One common reason I heard again and again was, we are looking for candidates with US tax experience. That was frustrating. How do you get experience if nobody gives you the first opportunity? There were moments when I questioned myself. Should I continue trying? Should I switch to another domain? I was wasting my time? But I kept applying. Eventually, one company gave me an opportunity. It was my first US tax job, but it was a contract role for one tax season. Even though it was not a permanent position, I accepted it without hesitation. For me, experience was more valuable than waiting for the perfect job. That first season taught me a lot. I finally got practical exposure to US tax instead of just reading about it. I learned how returns are prepared, how teams work together, and what professional tax work actually looks like. When the contract ended, I was once again looking for opportunities. This time, however, things were different. Now I had a real US tax experience. I continued networking on LinkedIn. Through LinkedIn, I received a referral. That referral helped me get an opportunity in corporate US tax, specifically working with Form 1120. To be honest, I was completely new to corporate taxation. Everything felt different. The terminology was different. The forms were different. The work papers were different. Initially, I felt overwhelmed. There were many things I didn't understand. But instead of getting discouraged, I decided to learn one step at a time. Every day I asked questions. I took notes. I learned from my seniors. Whenever I made mistakes, I tried to understand why they happened instead of feeling embarrassed. Slowly, concepts that once looked complicated started making sense. Looking back today, I'm actually grateful for every rejection I received. If I had never worked in the mortgage domain, maybe I wouldn't have seen Form 1040. If I had never worked in retirement, maybe I wouldn't have become familiar with IRS forms. If I hadn't gone through unemployment, maybe I wouldn't have spent enough time researching US tax. So if you are trying to enter the US tax industry today, here is my advice. Don't wait until you know everything before applying. Start learning the basics. Understand accounting concepts. Learn about Form 1040 and other tax returns. Network with professionals. Build your LinkedIn profile. Ask for referrals politely. And most importantly, don't let rejection stops you. Many companies prefer experienced candidates, but everyone starts somewhere. Your first opportunity might take time, but once you get that first break, every experience built on the previous one. If my journey teaches you one thing, let it be this. Your career doesn't have to follow a straight line. It's okay to change domains. It's okay to feel confused. It's okay to face rejection. What's important is to keep learning, keep improving, and keep moving forward. Today, I'm still learning. US tax is a field where learning never stops. And that's one of the reason I enjoy it. I hope sharing my journey gives you a confidence if you are planning to build a career in US tax. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out my other videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.